I'm dirty. I'm dirty now. My mommy's got to clean me.
Okay, so Kim, how long have you been working with horses?
12 years?
12 years. Okay.
12 years.
Okay. Overall, how this is your horse?
This is Skip.
This is Skip.
This is my Skip, my first horse.
And how would you describe the nature of Skip?
Skip has personality. He's spunky. He's smart. He's not a deadbeat. Some animals are really, some of the horses are really quiet and easygoing and they'll just do whatever they tell you, you know, whatever they're told. But Skip will let you know if he doesn't feel like doing something, doesn't want to do something, as you know, Kristen.
So they have, each horse has its own distinct
Personality,
and
yes.
emotions and stuff.
Yes. Like now he's, all right, well, what am I doing here? Just showing me that he's a little aggravated with standing here.
And where did you get Skip from? Where did he come from?
Sweet Hills in Huntington.
And where did he come from before? How did he get to Sweet Hills?
Skip. Somebody put him there on consignment. She was 18 years old. She lived out east somewhere by Connecticut Park, and he was just way too much horse for her to handle. So she put him there to sell him. Probably because he did something evil to her, and if I didn't buy him, they probably would have taken him to auction.
And what would have happened if he wasn't bought at auction?
If he wasn't bought at auction, then he probably would have went for kill.
When did you first discover that horses were being slaughtered for human consumption?
A couple years ago. The horses have always been slaughtered. But they went for Alpo back in the day, dog food, they fed the zoo animals. It was the older horses, it was the crippled horses, it was the skinny horses. They went for, like I said, to feed the zoo animals and stuff like that. Elmer's glue was horses. Then, I guess like everything else in China, how they eat the dogs and the cats, I guess somebody out in Europe decided to try horse meat, call it a delicacy, charge a lot per pound for it, and just like with anything else, the stray dogs here, what do you do with them? They euthanize them. Horses, there's such an overabundance of them, they don't euthanize them, so what they do is they send them to slaughterhouses and Skip. Stop it. They send them to slaughterhouses and they ship the horse meat overseas. But 2 years ago I did a parade at Belmont Racetrack. I had 130 horses walk down the racetrack in protest for themselves against horse slaughter, and Channel 4 was there and covered that.
And you also got local Congress involved in that because there has to be a bill passed in order to make this.
Well, there's a bill, there's the HR 503 is to protect horses, regular horses, and then there's I think it's the S1207 or the 1219, that's for the wild horse and burros, because they were going out to the wild horses in Mexico and stuff, the ones that just roam free, and they were rounding them up and just taking them off, and they're supposed to be protected.
What do you see happening in the future as far as stopping horse?
I'm hoping that since we have an all-Democratic House this election, that it'll get passed, because the Republicans, obviously somebody's getting very rich off of the slaughtering of horses, otherwise it would not be allowed to continue illegally in the country.
My name's Carrie Gould, and this is Sage. Her show name is Double Espresso, and she is a rescued horse.
Now, what you mean in rescued horses? This was a horse that nobody wanted,
this was a horse that in Pennsylvania, there was an elderly man who had a farm on about an acre of land. There was a ramshackle barn, and he had, I believe, 8 horses and 2 llamas and some other large animals, none of which were actually in the barn, but they were tied. She was tied to a post for like a year, I think. There was a court case, which is really unusual, and he was fined. The Humane Society came and did a raid and took out all the large animals, and Many of whom were in much worse shape than she was, because she was young and she was pretty strong. And they filed a suit against this guy who was found guilty, and he was fined something like $1,500.
So what would have happened? I mean, I'm sure since she's
Well,
an
Sage
abused
actually
horse.
comes from an area of Pennsylvania that has a lot of horse auctions,
Right.
really notorious ones, and she actually came from one of those auctions. This guy got her in one of those auctions.
So she was on her way.
So, well, he was keeping her in this thing. I mean, it was a horrible situation. There were pigs running around with like the bones showing. There was a severed horse head in a bucket, and there was 2 llamas who were in this little enclosure that was never cleaned out. So literally, they were up to excrement, like up to their elbows. It was really horrible. And she was really weak and just looked really dejected and everything, and skinny and that kind of thing. So, I mean, the horses from the auctions very often, they go to the, they go to slaughter.
Just take the whole tube out. So right now it's just that you can't really. It's trying to go up and jump through the fence.
Okay.
It's blocked off.
Tell the story of Trouble. So, Trouble is a mini horse, and it's a.
So it's the adult horse, right?
Yeah, he's an adult. This is as large as he's going to get. He's what they call Class A mini. And a lot of times with the slaughter issue, people don't think about the fact that these horses, as cute as they are, end up at slaughter because people buy them for their kids, and the kids grow out of them so fast that if somebody doesn't take him as a pet, he's gone. They send him off to slaughter, and they're easy to steal. That's a big issue. A lot of these guys get stolen. They're so tiny, you throw them in the back of a truck and you're gone, But, that's part of the problem too is, when you have the slaughter industry, you have to worry about no horse is safe. Especially the well-trained. Me and Kim, when we went to Ohio, we ran into a farmer that was telling us the month before 6 of his horses were stolen in one night.
Stolen?
Stolen, 6 of them. 6 Belgians. Because you figure for a thief, if you're getting $1 a pound at 1,800 pounds a horse, times that by 6, he made a good killing that night, literally, And the Amish, the horses are trained so well. The guy just has to pull his trailer right to the back of their farm. If he knows them by name or even, remotely tells them load up, they're going to go right in. That's how well trained they are. And they literally lose their entire herd in one night. From what I understand, every single part of the horse is used because you not only have the meat industry over in France and Mexico that are selling it for human consumption, which is, a very expensive meat. From what I understand, it's up to $15 a pound, our money, for you to purchase it and eat it, although it's illegal in the United States for us to eat it. We can't consume it. This is Malastri. She was bought at an auction. She's 18 years old. She's on her 12th foal, and the people that had her had a big breeding facility, and they had a disbursement sale, and nobody was bidding on her. How sad is that? She delivered 11 foals for them, probably made them upwards of $500,000 just in foals alone. Her fate would have been, had the people didn't buy her for $1,000, been sent off to slaughter.